Hey folks, Technivorous here. Today we are looking at mods for the Creality Ender 3 version 2. Now there are a couple of mods here that I designed myself for your download pleasure. That is going to be the hot end cover. This is the Dragon hot end. This one will be available on Thingiverse in myminfactory in the pack below, as well as the Iron Man bed leveling wheels that are the same as the extruder, the V-slot side mounted spool holder, and a couple of other parts. This case here and the adjustable piece underneath it are not mine. You'll hear more on those in a couple of minutes, but basically these are the pieces that we're replacing here. This one is actually a printed mod as well, but I wasn't a big fan of that side mount, so I knocked out my own, and I think I like that a little bit better. So all of these mods will be available for download. I will have a singular pack that includes the SD slot card holder, the V-mounted side spool holder, 2 hot ends including the Dragon, and a blank hot end, as well as these wheels here. So all of that will be available for download for free at the link below, and then I will also have 2 other links. One of them is going to be to the case, and the other is going to be to this adjustable piece here. And thank you to the creators of those 2 pieces, and we will speak more about that in just a minute. Let's jump right into this video. This is 3D Thursday, and we're going to get into it right now. The Technivorous channel is brought to you by these fine Patreon supporters. If you'd like to check us out on Patreon, pop over to www.patreon.com/Technivorous. That's TECHNIVOROUS. Here, we do our best to stay up to date on the latest and greatest in 3D printing and tech, and keep you informed on the latest developments in these sectors. So, if you're interested in getting updates on 3D printing or technology such as programming, robotics, artificial intelligence, and things of that nature, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, leave a like on this video, and comment about what you'd like to see in the future, because we make these videos for you. Alright, so welcome back folks. As you can see, this is my Creality Ender 3 V2, and today we're going to be adding several mods to this beast. So a couple of them are pretty simple. They'll slide right over the V-slot. A couple of them require screws and T-slot nuts, which are already attached to the machine, and there are a couple of them that you're going to actually need some GLARKs for. So this isn't really a necessary part for the screen cover that we're going to show you here in a minute, but it will be necessary to get the hot end to fit on properly. So this hot end cover that you're seeing right here is a special design. This was my first one to see if the dimensions were right, so I punched that 3V2 hole in there, basically just to ensure that it had a port for the fan. Don't think I'm going to be releasing this cover itself, but it's a possibility. I could. I think if you want to see me release that, go ahead, leave a like on this video, and if I get 100 likes, I will release that file. But I do have some other files that are going to be available, and they'll be available for free for download today. I'll have a link down below, and one of them is this hot end cover here. Now this is a cross between the Dragon from the Ender machine and the Dragon from one of the teams in Ender's Game, the old school, the novel. So I thought it was pretty cool. It fits pretty well. I did make a minor adjustment in the length of this piece right here. Between this iteration and this iteration, this one does fit a little bit better because this is longer, but as you can see, this is pretty sturdy and stable. So I'm not going to change this out because I like my 3v2 version, but I will tell you that these 3 holes here, 1, 2, and 3, are for the fan, and they don't need GLARKs. They have holes, the screws will go right into there. There's actually only 2 screws in the fan, and they'll be the 2 diagonally across from each other. A little support left in there still. The GLARKs are going to go here, here, and here, and this one is attached to the part cooling fan, which slides in this side here, and these 2 are how it actually mounts to the plate here and here. So pretty self-explanatory. I might do an in-depth video on how to do that a little bit later on, but for now we're going to stick to doing the mods that I have here. And I wanted to show you this. This was a pretty cool, this is a side-mounted spool holder. The spool holder goes here, and it worked pretty well. I wasn't a fan of the screw-in style. So what I did is I went back and mocked up this guy. So this is my side-mounted spool holder. The spool is in there. This design is based on Chuck Hellebuck's design, which he got from somebody else, I believe. I'll have to get the name of the guy. But I did completely redo this one from the ground up, put these triangles in for to save a little bit of printing. So we're going to go ahead and slide this on first, because as you can see, I already popped off my back cover here. So we'll put this guy on first, and that'll be our first mod. Okay, fairly simple. Put the cover back on. Then we are going to slide it back a little bit so we have room for the spool in between here and the extruder. If I can get it to go in, there we go. Okay, so our spool is now going to sit right here and feed directly into the extruder. So that's pretty nice. I'd like to get a little bit better view of this guy here. You can kind of see it back there. I chose to go with this blue color. And I apologize for the shadow in the background right now. I hope you guys can see okay. I chose to go with this blue color because it matches the accents on the machine already. So what else do we have here for mods? Well, we've got a few other things. I have some denser springs. Now, at first, I was going to put these on because traditionally the Ender 3 Pro was a little bit weak in the springs, and they recommended those yellow ones for an upgrade. However, I will tell you that since I've had this machine, I leveled the bed once and only once. So these springs are pretty sturdy. I will, however, in a minute show you how to change them, because we're going to be inserting GLARKs into our leveling wheels as well. And these guys are modeled after the extruder knob up here. They're the exact same design. Let's jump back one more time. Fix my camera a little bit. Okay. And we're going to put on this guy. So this is pretty simple. This is an SD card holder, and it does slide into the V-slot rail on the top. And actually, this guy will fit any printer that is a 2020 V-slot rail. So we're going to go ahead and pop this end cap off here. And remember how I said these two go on super easy. It's just basically sliding it in. And I gave it a little extra height there to get over those screws. And there you go. All of my cards all lined up on the top. Now, with the original Ender 3 and the Ender 3 Pro, I did always print a tool holder, but now we have this handy drawer that comes stock on this machine. So I'm not doing a tool holder on this guy, although I will be going back later, and I think we're going to redo this knob, if not the whole drawer. And you can see that a little bit better there. Next, we have a couple of mods that are going to go on the right side. So I'm going to swing around. We'll block the light here for a second. And we're going to come through and we'll hook this guy up over here. So this is the LCD screen. And it comes out pretty easy. Just pops out like that. And then we're going to remove these 4 screws from the back, these machine screws. And whether or not we want to put them back in is debatable. This part also has position spots for GLARKs. You can see that I marked them. That's what that little pen mark is. But it fits really, really well and also clips onto this back. So don't think it's absolutely necessary to use the GLARKs and screw it in. So let's check, and I will show you what I'm talking about as far as how well it fits. So we're going to get all these guys out here. Pretty simple. Now, other than the springs, all of these mods are aesthetic. They're just for looks. They're not going to affect the performance or running of the machine. Other than maybe the side-mounted spool, depending on what type of filament you're using, that can actually be really handy. So let's go ahead. Oh, we want to take the knob off first. We'll set that here. We are going to keep that knob. That nice black accent will look good against... There we go. So we're going to pull this piece out. Okay. And we're going to reuse this piece because it has those nice clips on there. So if you look here, there are clips for tabs. There aren't actually tabs on here, but it does fit really well. So what we're going to do is we're going to carefully pull these tabs back and pop this guy out. And sometimes it gets stuck on the knob there. So there's that. Now this is pretty simple itself. It's just going to pop right on. And it fits really, really well into these compartments here. So like I said, once the back is reattached, you don't really need those machine screws in there. I will eventually go back, put the GLARKs in, and pop them back in, but that's pretty sturdy. So we'll put the control knob back on as well. And make sure everything's snug here. There we go. Get it to pop into place, and then I don't have to worry about it. So, as you can see, this piece goes right here. I do, however, have a slight issue with the angle of this. So What I want is something that's a little bit more vertical and maybe adjustable. So I also have a mod for that. So that's this guy here. This was made by a gentleman named Pugwash. You can meet him in our Discord, and I will make sure to have a link to this as well. So these two parts are the only two parts that I did not make, and I will make sure that there are Thingiverse links to them down below. But yeah, these aren't going to be included in the actual pack that you'll see, the free download pack. So in order to put this on, we need to remove this piece right here. So let's turn the printer a little bit. Go back to our old Allen key, and this one is held on by 3 machine screws, and we're going to replace it with just 2 machine screws, and that'll be fine. And I'll show you how this works here as soon as we get it on. If I can get, there we go. All right. Nice thing about the T-slot locking nuts is that I don't need to unscrew the screw all the way to get the part off. I can unscrew it so the nut's loose, and then wiggle it out, and then it comes off a lot quicker with my fingers. So there we go. There is 1, 2, and 3. We're going to actually toss one of those in the drawer so we don't lose it. And now you can compare these two a little bit better. So this is what we're looking at. Very similar parts, but this one has this groove here. And when we put in the bottom nut, you can actually tilt it forward and back and then tighten it down. So we'll see how that works right now. Let me just get this guy. Oh, I got a little bit of support there I need to remove as well. We'll pop this in here. And don't want to quite tighten it down just yet. Let's get this support out of here. There it goes. Pop goes the weasel. I didn't really expect that to go flying, but that works. So, and you're not going to want to tighten down the front one right away yet either, because what you're going to want to do is actually make that adjustment. So, let's get that in there. And that in there. And we need to loosen that up a little bit. Okay. And this one is a little snug down here by the table. So pretty simple. Let's get a little bit better there. There we go. Right, so there you have it. If I loosen this one here, oh, the bottom one came out on me. Okay, just 1 second, guys. So the flip side of that is if they're not loose enough to turn, they're not going to work. So let's see here. Okay, so if that little T-slot screw doesn't bite down, go ahead and loosen it up a little bit, and then try retightening it. Generally, that will take care of the issue. Here, that's doesn't want to turn. Well, Pug, I think this part could use a little bit of thinning. But I just need to not tighten the screws so much. There we go. Okay, so that one in the top, that one in the bottom. Make sure we have ample room there. All right, 3rd time's the charm. Let's try it again. Also, if you're too close to the front there, this one won't have room to spin and lock into place, so you want to make sure that you're a little bit back from the front of the machine here. All right, there we go. It locked into place that time because I could see it turn. Don't want to over tighten that. We'll go ahead and hook this back up. And we will slide it back into place. And there you have it. That is a lot more vertical. That is a lot more pleasant for me. as you can see, if I need to, I can pop this screw, adjust it to the preferred angle. I think that's actually right where I want it. And just for a comparison, this was the angle it was at before. So we probably about 20 to 30 degrees we tilted that. So that's basically it for the simple mods. I do have a couple more that we're going to rock out here real quick. And in order to do that, we're going to have to heat up the soldering iron and throw some GLARKs into our wheels. And we will change the springs. So let's go ahead. We're going to take the bed off for a moment. So we'll remove these bed clips and set them aside. Just because I don't want it bouncing around while I'm messing with the wheels here. And obviously we're going to have to re-level this thing after it's all said and done, but let's go ahead and get the wheels off. I am way, way impressed with this machine so far. As I said, I only leveled it the once, which is one of the reasons I'm not going to change the springs. But since we're taking the wheels off, I will show you how to change them real quick. But these ones are a lot more stiff than the original on the E3 or E3 Pro. So these are the original wheels. Got two more in the back here. Bear with me. Three. And let's get number 4 out of the way here. And the bed is obviously still wired up, but at this point, if I disconnected the bed clip, I could simply remove the bed in its entirety. Don't need to do that, though. But this is how you get the bed off if you don't want to take it off the V-slot cover. Let's go over to the soldering station. We'll jump right over here. Soldering station. I moved a foot to the right. We readjusted the camera. So I'm going to try to do this at an angle that you can see. I have my soldering iron here, and I have my GLARK, and I'm basically just going to use the soldering iron to heat it up and push it into the plastic. Let's see if you can see a little better what's going on here. If I tilt, there we go. And you want to try and go straight in, and you want to make sure that it is as centered as possible. And as you can see, it didn't quite come out the back here, so we're gonna a little further. And oh, you know what? I'm slacking today, guys. There's still support on here. Where is? There we go. Clippers. And see if this helps at all. Yeah, there we go. There it is. So let's peel this off. I gotta de-support the rest of them too. I don't know what I was thinking. Rah, there we go. Okay, so now okay, and And that's pretty much it. Once you have those GLARKs into the wheels, you can screw them right on. I will need to re-level this again. I haven't adjusted it since I put them on, and it's going to take a little bit of work, but, you know, re-leveling is pretty simple, so should go pretty quickly. And I think that this one is actually a little lopsided in there, so I'm going to have to print another one and adjust that because it annoys me. So, but all in all, I am very, very happy with this machine. Like I said, I've only had to level this thing once until I took the wheels off, so it's very, very sturdy. One of the things I'll point out, when I originally got the Ender 3 Pro, the gantry was a little bit loose. And looks like this one's rattled itself a little loose as well. Let's go ahead and tighten this hot end cover down a little bit. There we go. Alright, that's better. But the actual carriage itself was loose, as well as needing tightening on the eccentric nut over here. On this machine, everything was flush and ready to go. I haven't really had to dial too much in. It was pretty much just level and print, and I've been printing ever since. All of these mods have come out pretty well. As you can see, I'm printing at a 0.16 millimeter layer height, and you can kind of see the differentiation in layers. You can kind of still see the layers a little bit, but not too bad. And I'm pleased with that. It looks nice. I'm very, very happy with it. This one in this black filament is spectacular. You can't even see the layer lines in this, and it's printed at the same height. Then again, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of that mod. I like the V-slot version better. So that's going to be it. Like I said, there is a bundle down below, the Ender 3 V2 download mod pack, and in that pack you will find the Dragon hot end, the wheels, the SD card holder, and the side mount spool. Now the 3V2, as I said, is not available, but if you go ahead and smash that like button, if I can get 100 likes on this video, I will release that version as well. And I wanted to mention that there is also a blank cover in there with the step file included, so you can go ahead and grab that if you'd like to make one with your own customized porthole. And that's basically it, guys. If this video has been helpful to you, like I said, smash that like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe. We're going to do a full review of this machine here next week on 3D Thursday. I just wanted to spend a little bit more time with it before I give you my final evaluation. But so far, my opinion of this thing is pretty high. I've been pretty pleased with everything that's come off it, and it's just a joy to work with. Not to mention the fact that most of the things that they added to this machine are things that people modded themselves on the Ender 3. They seem to take the best versions of each and kind of apply them to the machine, such as the extruder wheel or the drawer down here. The drawer is a nice addition. Like I said, I didn't need to print a tool holder like I did on my 3 Pro because I have the drawer here. But at the same time, the drawer is kind of silly. There's a spot underneath the rail here that is open in the drawer, and you can place stuff in it, but without taking the drawer out completely, you cannot reach it. So I'm thinking I might make an insert tray that slides into here and actually sits out underneath here to catch all my screws and stuff like that as I'm changing stuff out. So if that's something that you'd like to see, leave me a comment down below. And feel free to comment any other mods that you'd like me to try out on this machine. I'm always switching it up and looking to change and see what else we can do. So that's going to be it, guys. Technivorous out. Well, that's it, guys. That's going to wrap up this video. If you've noticed the shirt, the merch is available. Go ahead and check out the Teespring merch link down below. It won't be available on a channel store until I reach 10,000 subscribers, and so far I am just about to hit 5,000. So it'll be a little while, a couple more months before you see this on the actual channel, but they are available now. I have a couple other designs. Feel free to pop over there and check them out, and know that any purchase through the Teespring site definitely helps to promote our site here and increase the channel's ability to make videos in the future. So we appreciate all your support. Don't forget to check out the Teespring link, check out our Patreon link, leave a like on this video, and hit that subscribe button because we have a lot more coming at you in the coming days.